I can almost hear some of you thinking, is the gift of your best self. You can't pour from an empty cup, my friends. You can't get what you don't have, and you certainly can't lead others to a place you haven't been yourself. You see, most people go through life focused on everything and everyone but themselves. They're constantly reacting to the world around them, always putting out fires, always responding to others' needs and demands. They're so busy looking outward that they never take the time to look inward. And that, my friends, is a recipe for a life half lived. But when you dare to focus on yourself, when you have the courage to turn your attention inward and work on becoming the best version of yourself, something magical happens. You start to grow. You start to evolve. You start to tap into potentials you never knew you had. And as you do, you become more capable, more confident, more impactful in every area of your life. If you owned a business, would you neglect it? Would you ignore its needs, fail to invest in its growth, and then wonder why it's not thriving? Of course not. You'd pour your time, energy, and resources into making that business the best. Well, guess what? You do own a business, the business of you. And it's the most important business you'll ever be in charge of. So I dare you.
Woo! What is going on, dreamers? Good morning. Good morning. Rise and shine. Another blessed and grateful day. As always, fired up to be on here with everybody. Hope you all had a great start to the week already. Today, where are we at? Today is August 14th, Wednesday. Again, this month is flying by. It's going to be over before we know it. Shane, Talina, it's good to see you. Cedric, dreamers, let's go. Ready to step into today with boldness, confidence, and absolute clarity. So here we go. Let's get into it today, fam. Nearly September. Yeah. So today I want to go over the 5 basics to success. Just a little reminder. I believe it's never a bad time to go ahead and bring up this topic because this is part of the foundation, the foundational pieces of success that Bobby P lays out absolutely beautifully. Napoleon Hill, a lot of the greats, they talk about these same similar principles. So let's go ahead and double back, get into it today to not only just learn, but to teach as well. So here we go. Let's get into it, fam. The 5 basics and what is everybody grateful for coming into today? Let me know. Drop it down below. There's a lot of amazing things that are circling from all different angles. It's incredible to see, and it's just the warm up. Here we go. 5 basics locked in. Today's going to be a good one. IG's good to see you. Grateful to be alive. Grateful for the family. So grateful for the dream team. Grateful to have access to knowledge, information. We've got the alkaline, the whole foods has been eaten today. Journal locked in, a little bit of yoga this morning. So let's go ahead and rock and roll. You ready? Love it, love it. So first step, right? The 5 basics to success. I'm going to breeze through today's training, today's topic, because a lot of you guys know this, but again, to be able to know it in the 4th level of learning is different. I'm going to go over that for today. So number 1 is, who do you listen to? Kevin Trudeau, obviously a very big proponent of these 5 too. They all talk about, who do you listen to, right? At the end of the day, we become most of the time who we're surrounded by, who we're having conversations with, who we're listening to on a daily basis. So, for a lot of us, we've been tapped in, right? We've been tapped into the KTs, the Bobs, the 1%ers, the Brian Carruthers, the Tony Robbins. And this is why we all have such a huge head start, because we're already modeling success. We're already studying the best of the best. So we're in a great position. So that's number 1. We're all locked in to already some phenomenal mentors from all different angles. Those that are crushing it on social media, great speakers, those that are dominating their industry and their fields. So it's safe to say those have a great relationship with their creator. So we're able to go ahead and tap into a lot of different areas where those who we are listening to, they have the success. They have exactly what it is that we're looking for. So that's big. Deanna in the building. True love, what's going on? Isabella, it's good to see you. All right, here's the second key to success. The second basic. They call it the teachability index. And this is really 2 things. The teachability index is actually very simple. It's our willingness to learn times our willingness to change. Now, what's interesting about the teachability index is a lot of the time it kind of leans towards one side. What do I mean by that? You see, there's a lot of people that they have a high willingness to learn. They might get on, they might take notes, but here's the second piece is the willingness to change. Change is by far one of the toughest things for all of us to do. But at the same time, change is actually one of the main variables in life that is always constantly changing, right? Change is inevitable. It's something that none of us can go ahead and fight against. But if we can be willing to change, willing to adapt, this is where we can experience quantum leaps. Perfect example, right? Right now, the times that we're living in, those that are not adapting to crypto, those that are not willing to learn about AI, that are not willing to learn about technology, that are not willing and open to learn new skill sets, are going to get swept by one of the biggest tidal waves that I believe any of us have ever seen. Look at what happened with COVID. COVID was a perfect example. Think about it. How many people do we know that got stripped of their job? They couldn't work and they only had one stream of income. And now times get really, really tough. Drop a 3 down below if you guys know somebody like that. Lovely Johnny, what's going on? This is big, right? So this is so important that we're actually prepared for what's coming into the future. The famous saying, we fail to plan, we plan to fail. Well, that's what this is. We are staying ahead of what is coming. It's not if, it's literally a matter of time. And I can tell you right now, with the presidential election, mark my words, over these next couple months, finishing August, September, October, we are going to see some outlandish things online when it comes to distractions, noise, trying to take people off of their pivot. But again, those that are learning, that are getting around mentorship, that are being students, we're going to be able to take advantage of this era that we're in right here, right now. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3 is going to be the training balance scale. This is a good one. This one was always really fascinating to me because at the beginning it didn't make sense. So let me ask you guys this: when it comes to success, those of you that know, you know, what percent is physical, and what percent of success is spiritual? Go ahead and drop it down. Who knows? What percent is physical? What percent is spiritual? When you study guys like Kevin Trudeau, when you study individuals like Bob Proctor, you'll see that they talk about how success is pretty much 1 to maybe 10% physical. The rest of it, the other 99, is actually spiritual. People are like, what do you mean? There's no way. Well, think about it. The physical side is things like training, going to events, taking the actions, learning the skills, right? Trading, building a networking, whatever the skill set may be, 3-way calls, Zooms. But here's the spiritual side. That's only 10%. This is why the spiritual side weighs so much more than the physical, because the spiritual is things like faith, belief, gratitude, prayer, journaling, affirmations. All of these, every single one of these things, we can't touch our feelings. We can't touch our thoughts. Look at success. When you look at anything that was ever created, it was what? It had to be first created in the mind. Nobody created this book spiritually. It had to happen spiritually, and then it manifested into the physical. This is why we journal. This is why we write our goals. This is why we have whiteboards, so we can see and manifest these things on a constant basis, because it's spiritual. It's not tangible. You know, Shane Talina, I know when they wake up, the first thing they see is their vision. They see their goals. They have it literally written on their ceiling. This is part of the spiritual side of success. Why? Because the moment they in their eyes, they're training their subconscious mind to start already getting in line with their goals, their aspirations, their passions. And now we wake up on fire, ready to run the day, and the day is not running us. Okay. So that's number 3. Number 4. 4 is a really good one too. 4 is known as the 4 levels of learning. The 4 levels. Here's number 1. Number 1 is known as unconscious incompetence. Meaning you don't know what you don't know. if you put me into China and you put me somewhere, I don't know what I don't know. I don't know the food. I don't know how to speak the language. Okay. That's number 1. Number 2 is going to be conscious incompetence. Meaning now we know what we aren't doing. And we know that we might have some bad habits. This is kind of gaining that awareness. We know we could be eating better. We know we could be spending our time a little bit more wisely. But number 3, this is where the shift happens. It's one thing to have awareness. It's one thing to know. It's a whole nother thing to actually do. So here's the third level of learning. 3, now we're consciously working on doing something new, and we're consciously happening day to day. This is what all of us have been doing. We've been plugging in the trainings. This is stage 3. Now here is stage 4.